I don't want this video to only be about Shedeur Sanders. I want it to be about the Browns in general, just as an organization, and how these last 27 years of football in Cleveland since returning has just been a colossal failure through and through. I want to talk about the big mistakes that the front office has made, doing Baker dirty, the Watson trade, the years and years of being cursed. I want to talk about all that has gone wrong, and I wish I could say that I will be talking about the way forward, but with the current guys up top, it feels as if there is no way forward. Shedeur Sanders has been treated like crap and has been waiting for his chance. We have receivers that get paid millions of dollars but can't catch the ball. It's ridiculous. I mean, Jerry Jeudy, I could go on a rant about him for 10 minutes by himself. Oh my gosh, man. And then on top of that, the offensive line is horrendous. The defense is the only thing that is keeping this team from going 0-17, which I guess that would be a new first, but a second time in franchise history in the last 3 decades. I don't even know where to start. I guess it has to be with the Haslams. I think that's just kind of stating the obvious. That has been the source of the problem over the last 10 years. When Jimmy purchased the Browns in 2012, I think the initial reaction from 99% of the public was pretty positive. A lot of people viewed it as like a fresh start because things had not gone too well since the return in 99, obviously. I was like 10 or something though, so I don't know fully what people's reactions were. If you're older, let me know what you guys thought at the time in the comments below. I would really appreciate that. And when your team comes back the way they did with the expansion draft, they automatically get a 5-year exception from being criticized because it takes a lot to rebuild from pretty much nothing, just the scraps of the league that teams didn't want. But things went beyond that and really never turned a corner. I don't think any other franchise would be able to put on the display of football for 3 decades that the Browns did and not only retain the fan base, but also grow it significantly. As a Cleveland for life guy, look, I love the fans in this city, but it is starting to get to a point where we're kind of enablers. And I've talked about it before. I get it. It's a lifestyle. People do Cleveland-themed weddings, Cleveland Browns-themed funerals. I mean, it really has become like a part of people's lives. But we really are, we're enabling by buying tickets, buying merchandise, watching every single game. We are enabling a bad business owner to continue to make money despite doing nothing productive for the team, for the city. It's been a disaster class. Now, obviously, Jimmy Haslam is not a bad business owner if we're talking business and money and that side of things. The Browns have not hosted a single playoff game since they returned in 99. Not one single game. And this franchise has grown from being worth $1 billion to $6 billion ever since Haslam purchased it in 2012. That's crazy to me. He has a 1-15 season under his belt, an 0-16 season that featured an end of the season parade that you guys put together. That was funny. I was too young to go to that, and it was freezing. I can't believe Cleveland fans, man. Some of you guys are just nuts, man. It's amazing. On top of that, in my lifetime, I have never experienced a single win in Pittsburgh in the regular season. We've dealt with constant heartbreak and bad decisions. Haslam completely botched his chance with Baker Mayfield. He made the Watson trade, but yet we still show up and make this a profitable business for him. I mean, who goes back to a restaurant that gives you food poisoning? You don't. And I get it, I really do. It's football. It's what we all watch on Sundays. It's the ultimate entertainment. There's nothing that beats it besides maybe college football. There's nothing more entertaining, in my opinion. And for as much as loyalty matters, because at the end of the day, it really does, and I truly think supporting your city matters too, it has been 27 years, and we have seen one playoff win in a COVID season that was already kind of weird to begin with. There was barely any fans in the stands. So, I mean, we have not seen one playoff game hosted on top of that at the Dog Pound. It's been a pathetic 3 decades of football. And yet, every single offseason, there still is a line for season tickets. And that is why nothing is ever going to change. We have given Haslam no reason to change. He literally made $5 billion while making every wrong decision possible from a football perspective. Now, in terms of this season, to me, they felt really off from the beginning. I don't know who to blame. I don't personally know all the inside details of everything that went on over this offseason. Who wanted Kenny Pickett? Who wanted to draft Shedeur? So I'm just going to blame everyone. Nobody gets off the hook. Andrew Berry, Haslam, Kevin Stefanski, nobody gets a pass. Let's face it, the Browns went into this offseason with no direction at all. There was no plan. Obviously, you knew with the picks they had, they were not going to get a franchise quarterback. I mean, they could have maybe with like that second pick, but they ended up trading it anyways down to get Mason Graham from Michigan. There were not any real good options to fix the problem in free agency. We knew that. So, in my eyes, this was one of those, let's just take a QB or two somewhere in the draft and see what happens. Maybe like you can win the lottery somehow, get extremely lucky. It seems so far that we haven't. And I mean, we were really just looking to see if we could find someone to have confidence in moving forward, even if it wasn't like a full-time, full-on franchise quarterback. And if not, it would be okay because next year's draft is absolutely loaded. But then in an offseason and in a season where you're trying to find out if you have a franchise quarterback, that literally was the only possible productive thing that could have even come out of this season because you knew they weren't going to make the playoffs. I mean, people were saying 10-7. You knew that was just kind of Cleveland optimism. We all knew this was going to be a bad team, but it's even worse than I thought now that we're already 6 weeks in. It's pathetic what I'm watching every single Sunday. I want to bleach my eyes. But yeah, then you trade for Kenny Pickett. You sign a 40-year-old in Joe Flacco. They come in and you give them all the training camp reps. Shedeur Sanders is basically throwing to the ball boys for a few months. And then before the season even starts, you trade Pickett to the Raiders. So basically you wasted a ton of valuable reps on him for no reason. He wasn't even on the team to start the season. You wasted the second team reps Shedeur could have had. And now we are at week 7 and you trade Flacco to the Bengals, who actually did play pretty decent last week. I'm kind of happy for him. And that really just shows what's going on in Cleveland and just how down bad they are. Now we have coaches like Mike Tomlin making fun of the trade. Cleveland really is back to being the joke of the league. I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster could not have been more right when he said the Browns is the Browns. I know people kind of bashed him for saying it at the time, but no, he was just speaking facts. The Browns is the Browns. It's never going to change. The Bengals were dead in the water. Jake Browning was awful. But you give them somebody that can come in and kind of restore things. I know Joe Flacco's not going to turn around your season, but he at least gives the superstars a chance to have big games. He can get the ball to the playmakers. I know Jamar Chase had a lot of fantasy points last week. I got him on my team, so shout out to him. But yeah, terrible trade by the Browns. I'm not sure what they were doing. It just, nothing they do makes any sense. I think we know that by now. And they say a fan doesn't know more than professionals. That's kind of like the slogan, and like it's kind of true across all sports. I know people make fun of like the couch coaches, but for this team in specific, I'm really starting to believe that the people that know and love the Browns, that are diehard fans, I think a lot of these people could do a better job than what we are currently seeing from the guys up top. Because we're seeing malpractice. That's what it is. That's the one word that can describe this organization. And then to make things even worse, this year has felt like watching a team that is tanking for a draft stock. Now all the QBs that were supposed to be generational just suck. Drew Aller's out for the season. Penn State completely fell off. It's kind of tragic what happened to them. Arch Manning has been underwhelming. I know he just had a big win against Oklahoma, but he has not been as advertised at all. It's really just been the name that has hyped him up this whole time, it turns out. And now the Browns have the Jags pick, which I thought was a good move at the time, but now it turns out that Travis Hunter is just an absolute dog. I think we were wrong. I mean, Mason Graham hasn't been bad, but boy, would it be nice to have a guy like Travis Hunter right now who can play both ways, because this team just doesn't have receivers. It's embarrassing. I mean, I don't think any QB, like I said, could thrive in this current situation when Jerry Jeudy is your number one guy and he can't even catch 2 balls in a row consistently. But yeah, now the Browns have the Jags pick, and they're playing like a playoff team, so we're going to lose that top 5 pick that I thought we would have. It's really just going to be the number 1 pick and probably like number 25 or something, which again, not terrible, but given my trust in the front office, I don't think the Browns are going to make anything of next year's picks. Really, the list just goes on and on. I mean, in any other job or profession, everyone would have been fired by now, but not for the Cleveland Browns. Instead, their net worth goes from $1 billion to $6 billion without doing anything. Now, before I get into Shedeur Sanders and everything going on specifically with him and just his situation, I want to talk about this new stadium agreement with Mayor Bibb and the Haslams. Look, I know people reacted to the agreement without actually looking at the terms and reading through everything. I saw some of the comments on Instagram, but still, this could be good for the city of Cleveland and getting things turned around and actually building up the lakefront. But I don't think Jimmy should get a dime from anyone in this city for this new stadium. I know it's capitalism. I know he's worth billions and he was going to get his way regardless. That's just kind of how it works in America. But again, this dude has not hosted one single playoff game in Cleveland since 2012. It's beyond pathetic. Haslam should not be getting a single dime from anyone until this team can be competent and fun to watch again. It's a bad product, and all they want to do is make more money, while other areas in Cleveland are struggling with poverty. Kids are not getting proper and good food. I mean, I'm not saying everyone in Cleveland is poor. There's money in Cleveland, but there is a side to it that definitely could use some work, and yet we're giving all this money over to the Haslams that can't even win a football game for this new stadium that they could fund themselves. It's just ridiculous how it all works, in my opinion. And again, I'm all for capitalism. I mean, I'm a business owner myself. I have an LLC, but at a certain point, it gets ridiculous because at least have a good football team. That's all we're asking for. But he doesn't, so he shouldn't get any funding for this stupid project, ripping the team out of Cleveland. Well, he's done nothing to give us hope as a fan base. And I do got to give a big shout out to G. Bush for that take. I love that dude. I love listening to him. He's getting really better. He's becoming must watch. So go over to Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Drop him a follow. Drop them a follow. He's fun to listen to, and he knows what he's talking about. But yeah, anyways, getting back to the point, it really is that simple. At least put together a not garbage product on the field before you worry about upping ticket prices even more, because these last 3 decades have made me want to bleach my eyes. I know I've said that before, but that's really all I can say to describe what I've watched. It's oh my gosh, man. It just makes me so mad. They can't even score 10 points. Jimmy Haslam is responsible for a lot of this. Andrew Berry's got to go. Kevin Stefanski has got to get fired by the end of the season. I'm not really a big fan of in-season firings. I think that Penn State should have held off on Franklin until the end of the season. It's not going to solve anything. The season's already lost. You might as well just ride it out. And again, I don't know if this is fully Kevin's fault because he doesn't control the players that he has to work with. But in terms of the game plan, it definitely feels like he has not been maximizing the players' potential. They're not looking for passes. There's no chemistry. Nobody's on cue. I don't know, man. I mean, you guys watch it too. You know what I'm trying to say. It's hard to put into words just how bad this football team is. All right, now for Shedeur Sanders. I almost feel bad for the way this dude has been treated ever since draft night. He's not a bad quarterback at all. Does he sometimes run around the backfield too much when he's getting chased around by defensive linemen? Yes, we saw it kind of unfold in that last preseason game against the Rams. But I'm sure after taking a few sacks by those guys like Myles Garrett, well, obviously not Garrett, he's on the team, but you know what I'm saying. After that, I'm sure he'll change his ways because you can't have 20-yard losses. That's just that's not sustainable. And he definitely has the most upside on the team right now at the quarterback position. Dillon Gabriel is fine, but he just has so many physical limitations. He's just too short. He can barely see over the line. He's not that mobile, so it doesn't make up for it. I'm not even sure what the point of picking him was to begin with. And then the Browns did not give either of these rookie QBs proper training and camp to be ready for the season, so that just added to it all. Flacco and Pickett were playing with the ones all camp long, and now it's week 7. They're both off the team. And like I've said, nobody else but the Browns would be able to get away with this stuff. But Shedeur is going to get on the field at some point. He's going to get his opportunity and his chance to be legendary. But let's be real, he's not going to fix this offense. I don't think anybody could. It's so far gone that you could give us Tom Brady or prime like Montana and nothing would change. I mean, Jerry Jeudy is your wide receiver 1. He can't catch the football. Even Njoku has kind of struggled with being consistent in terms of making catches, but overall he's definitely the best playmaker or weapon that they have. But this offense is so far gone. I don't think anything's going to fix it, and I'm not even sure what the next step forward is. And now I see why Deion Sanders wanted Shedeur nowhere near Cleveland before the draft. Obviously, the family was left with no choice because nobody ended up picking him up. But yeah, I see it now. Cleveland is just a disaster. And if I was a QB, I would not want to go anywhere near this city. I'd rather be a backup for the Chiefs, knowing I'll never even get a chance to play, than be ruined by this franchise. But yeah, that's my rant. I could go on all day about this. You know me, and I think everyone is kind of feeling the same way. Let me know in the comments below if you agreed with any of my takes, what you disagreed with. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet, because your support truly means the world. And until next time, I will see you all later.